Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into Mama Angel's Kitchen. And tonight we're having Arroz con Pollo. I think I said that right. We're having chicken and yellow rice and a little broccoli on the side. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these ingredients that we're going to need. I've got three chicken drumsticks that I'm going to boil and make a broth out of, and then we'll finish them up in the oven. We're going to need 2 cups of jasmine rice. And then the broccoli I've got here is just a microwave in the bag. Broccoli, frozen broccoli. I love this stuff, guys. It's just like, the fresh. It is beautiful. Okay, then we're going to need some veggies. And I've got here is green and red bell pepper. I've got a yellow onion. And so on this side, the onion and the bell pepper, they're in big chunks like this here. I'm going to use those to make my chicken broth, where I'm going to boil the chicken in. And then over here, I've got the same thing, the onion and bell pepper, but finely chopped. And we're going to use that to make our yellow rice with. And then I've got 1 large garlic clove that I've just kind of crushed, and that's going to go into our chicken broth as well. The spices we're going to use tonight, this is the spices for our rice. And everything, again, will be down in the description box below, okay? So don't worry about that. But these are teaspoon measures of onion garlic powder, Maggi Pollo, sazon, and this is an Amarillo yellow food coloring. It's just like a yellow coloring, Amarillo. It's got a little slight flavor, but not much. It's what we really use to make the yellow rice with. So that's that. And then over here, I've got a 1/2 teaspoon each of turmeric, salt, and pepper. Okay, that's the seasonings I use to make my rice with. Now the spices we're going to use for the chicken to make our chicken broth, pretty much the same. Of course, Maggi Pollo, the onion and garlic powder, okay, sazon, of course, and then salt and pepper. And then added to that, I'm going to use some Italian seasoning, some ground cumin, some basil, and then some dried rosemary, okay? Those are the spices that I'm going to use to make the chicken broth. So let's go right on ahead and get this chicken started. Okay, I've got my pot here. I'm going to dump that chicken right in there. And what I'm going to do, guys, is cover this chicken with the water. It is this simple. It is just this simple. Okay, just got it covered with water. And here we go. All of those big chunks of veggies right in there, including that garlic. Let's get that onion off in there. Okay. Set those aside. And then let's go ahead and season it up. And I'm not going to measure this at all, okay? I'm just going to dump spices down in there. A little bit of everything that I just pulled out on you. Just dumping it in there, okay? And then this is going to boil on the stove. Get a little bit more of that cumin. That cumin does not like to come out. There we go. This is going to boil for about 20 minutes. I'm not trying to get this chicken completely done. This here is the Italian seasoning. Okay, not trying to get it completely done because I want to finish it in the oven and get a nice little crust on the skin. Okay, but what I'm doing now is extracting broth from it because I'm going to cook my rice in that chicken broth. All right, couple of things of salt, couple of things of pepper. All right, and then let's do some rosemary. I'm gonna put some rosemary in my hand like this. And the measurements don't matter too much, guys, because this is just it's making a broth, okay? The only thing I will go a little bit heavier on is my Maggi Pollo. So I've probably put about 2 tablespoons of Maggi Pollo in here, okay? We're gonna go ahead and give this a good swirl, like this here. Get everything nice and... All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the broccoli done. I microwaved it for 5 minutes. You go for anywhere between 4 and 5 minutes, right in the bag. Don't punch a hole in it, don't do anything. Microwave it. I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter. Of course, you can use margarine or, whatever you like to use. Go ahead and dump that right in. A lot of extra water in this one. Usually not quite that watery, but this is kind of watery. I'm going to pour some of that water up before my butter melts all in it. I don't want all that water. Yeah, I normally don't get all that water. Okay, that's good. All right, and now to season it up. Okay, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. And I tell you, that's a small bag too. Normally that bag, I buy these all the time. This bag normally fills this bowl. This here is lemon pepper seasoning, okay? So salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, lemon pepper seasoning, and butter. That's all I do to season up my broccoli. I got gypped on that bag. That's not much at all, but not gonna complain. They're like under $1 at Walmart. All right, guys, finally my chicken is right where I want it. It's not done, and I don't want it done, remember? So here we go. And I've got a baking sheet lined with foil over here that I meant to spray. That was my oven going off. That's getting ready. I want to give that a spray to help prevent any sticking. Okay? There we go. All right, let's get these chicken out of here. Onto our baking sheet. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with that broth. Let's take care of this chicken first. Okay. I'm going to do it right over here so that hopefully you're able to see it and this eye isn't too hot. I'll do it. There we go. All right. All I'm going to do with this is I'm going to brush a little bit of olive oil on it. And all I'm trying to do here is get this nice and a little bit of crisp on the skin. Okay. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of seasoning on it. And this season blend is just another blend that I had already used for another dish that I had made. And what I do is I put them, in little containers like this to use for other dishes. And only thing that's in here, guys, is garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, sazon. There's a little paprika in here. Okay, so use whatever your favorite season blend is. All right, I'm going to flip this over, do the other side, put this in the oven, and I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we're going to strain that broth and use it for the rice. Are we back? Okay, this is how we're going to strain that broth, okay? I'm trying to do this where you can see me. I've just got a nice strainer over a bowl. I'm going to take that broth, put it right over there, just like that. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of all the vegetables and stuff, it's done its job. All I want now is that broth, okay? Let's go ahead and give that broth a taste. It is rich in color. Look at that color. That is rich in color. Oh my goodness, y'all. All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to go in with a little bit of vegetable oil because I want a neutral oil. Okay, and that's about, I probably put about a tablespoon of oil in there. Just shy of a tablespoon maybe, okay? It's not a full tablespoon. But just enough to kind of cover the bottom. Okay, if you can kind of see down in there. All right. And now what I'm going to do is go in with those veggies. All my little veggies there. Okay. I'm going to fire down a little bit. I'm going to saute these up until they are somewhat soft. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. Come on, take a look-see down in there. You can see how we're doing. That's a good shot. That's all ready to go. Okay. That is ready for my rice. Now let's get our rice down in there and toast it a little bit. You just want to get those veggies started. Get your onions about translucent. And then my rice is in a strainer here because I rinsed it. Okay. All right, got the rice in there. I'm going to move that around. Oh, get it nice and toasted up. This is beautiful. I need a taller little stand so you guys can see what this looks like down in there. Okay, that's what we're working with. Okay, after about a minute, this is what our rice is looking like. Okay, you can see the little flecks of peppers and, well, the peppers, can't really see the onions, but the peppers running through it. Let's go ahead and get some seasoning down in there. I mixed up that seasoning blend that I showed you earlier. Go ahead and get some of that in there. And I'm probably going to want to use more of the Amarillo. That's about half of that season blend that I just put down in there, okay? I typically, guys, I don't measure when I do this. You know, I just dump some seasoning in there, and then I use that Amarillo and my turmeric, but mostly the Amarillo, to get a color that I'm looking for, okay? You can see that color starting to develop. Now I've got a lot of seasoning in my broth that I'm using. So I'm not going to use all of this here seasoning. So that's about it. So I've used about half of that seasoning blend that I showed you that I made. Okay. Oh, yes, look at that. Look at that color. Look at that, guys. Come on. Come on. Now, I'm going to go in because I want the color of yellow rice. I'm going to go ahead and give a nice good shake there. You see, it's a nice good pile there. Go ahead and mix that in. Oh, boy. Okay. All the while, that rice is toasting up beautifully. Oh, I smell our chicken. It's smelling delightful. Okay. Okay. A little bit more color. A little bit more color. Like I told you, there's not much seasoning in this Amarillo. It's all about the color. Okay? All about the color. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and get our broth in. Now, I separated 2 cups of broth from there. So I'm just going to put in 2 cups right away. And that's the ratio that I do for my rice. Okay? I do 2 cups of rice to 2 cups of liquid. Okay, get that boiling. Once it comes to a boil, I'll put a lid on it and let it go for, 15, 20 minutes till it's all absorbed. And then it'll be taste test time. All right, our rice is done. I'm just gonna fluff it up a little bit here. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? All right, guys, I'm gonna make us a plate. Here is the chicken. Look at that crust on that, isn't that beautiful? All right, I'm gonna come back with a plate and it's time for taste test. All right, guys, here it is, here it is. Oh my word, look at this beauty here. Look at that chicken. That crust on it is beautiful. And that rice, look at that deep, rich color. My goodness. Accompanied by that broccoli, just perfect. Just perfect, isn't that? All right, let's get in here for a taste test. I don't know who my star is right now. I'm gonna go for the chicken because it's not as hot as the rice, okay? Let's go, right here, right here. Oh, look at that baby. Ooh, look at that crust on there. Look at that. All right, let's get in here. Oh, baby, look how tender that is. That's a big mouthful right there. That is a big mouthful. I don't know if I want all that. Let me see. Come on. Look at that. Oh, baby, look at that. That skin. You guys. It's still nice and juicy. I tell you what, it could have come out of the broth about 3 minutes sooner so they can give it time to crisp up out here. That's it. That's the only thing I would change on that. The only thing. Come on. Focus on that, baby. Come on, let's do it again. But the flavor is all the way through. It's all the way through. It is crazy good. The rice is hot. It is piping hot. Come on. You gonna focus on that? Just lost my napkin. It's all right. Y'all, every time I make this, I'm just like, this is crazy. Sometimes when I do this, I just want to make a big pot of it. I'll pull the meat off of the bone and put it into the rice after the rice is done. And that's delicious too, but I just love it like this, individual like this. I'm going in one more time. It's so good. That broccoli, look at that. Come on. You know that's good. Guys, you gotta try this one. You've gotta try this one, just like I did it. It is so delicious, okay? So delicious. If you like this one, come on, give Mama Angel a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, come on and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I put one of these amazing videos out, or should I say amazing recipes, because it's so good, yo guys. It's so good. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. You guys stay prayed up. And I'll see you in my next video. Good night.